Greetings, YouTube. In this past election season, a whole lot of boomers and members of Generation X voted for a fascist. They voted for Trump and outed themselves as supporters of white nationalism. I frequently refer to them as Nazis just because it's a handy shorthand. It's just really convenient. It's easier than saying white nationalist. But Nazi fits really well. And if somebody votes for a Nazi, they deserve to be treated like one. And a lot of these folks are discovering that their children and grandchildren don't want anything to do with them. And I, for one, am not shocked. Thankfully, none of the people in my sphere that I have any intimate connection through or through blood have voted for Trump in this particular election. My brother-in-law voted for him originally and helped put him in office the first time, and I never talked to him again. One exception being I had to during a estate process from my mother's estate. I was given no option. My sister didn't want to handle the process. She handed it off to her husband, so I got stuck talking to someone that I really didn't want to talk to. But that was just what happened. But as far as voluntary, yeah, I haven't been in his presence since then, and I never will again. Um, and I still hold my sister accountable for the fact that she remained married to someone that supported white nationalism and seemed to act like it was no goddamn big deal. Because in my book, it was and still is. I see that as a defect in her character, flat out. But a whole lot of Gen X's and Boomers are really pissed off that their children and grandchildren want nothing to do with them. Even read a story recently where a father who has two college-age daughters and he funds their entire schooling. He says, as long as you're getting passing grades, he will fund your schooling, the whole package. And that's nice. I mean, my father covered my sister's full ride, so there's no reason I guess someone else can't do that for their kids. Um, and his parents are very upset because his daughters are not going to be coming to any further family get-togethers ever. They're done because all of his siblings and his parents all voted jump. He didn't, and he is still in contact with them. Because as he said, I've been living in this shit show in my entire life. So I don't know why he doesn't walk away. I don't care how closely related you are to somebody. You can always just walk away. You can. There's nothing stopping you. Yeah, you may be fucking over an inheritance, but who cares? If it means not sitting down at a table with Nazis, yeah, I'll piss that inheritance right down the goddamn drain. But his parents wanted him to cut his daughters off. Zoom, no more money until you come into the family gatherings. And he's like, no, I will not do that for you. How much longer he'll be able to stay in contact with his parents because he's refusing to bring his daughters to events and have them sit there quietly and think that their aunts and uncles and their grandparents are nice people when they are in fact Nazis, is I guess remains to be seen. Maybe he'll finally have that veil cast from his eyes and realize that these people are not worth your time, and maybe you just spend the holidays with your daughters, who seem to be much better and nicer people. Um, so yeah, um, it seems to be affecting a lot of them right now. They're discovering that people just don't want anything to do with them. Now, I have coworkers who voted for Trump, and if they need medical assistance, I'm there for them. I'm a first aider. And if they need me to engage in some kind of work-related activity, I will do it there. I'm right there. It's my job. I'm a lead. I got no problem helping them. But other than that, they don't exist. I will never talk to them again. I will never look at them again. They just have ceased to exist. You are a goddamn Nazi. I have no desire to interact with you. You are unworthy of my time and effort. You are actually totally and 100% from a moral standpoint beneath me. And that may sound harsh, that may sound arrogant, but on the I'm not a Nazi and I'm a Nazi scale, anyone that is I'm not a Nazi is superior to someone that is in the I'm a Nazi end of that spectrum. I'm not going to argue that one. But a whole lot of folks that I guess just figured their families would just go with it? That, well, it's just politics. No, it's not just politics. You're undermining the very fabric of American democracy. you're putting people's lives at risk. Your actions are going to cost tens of millions of lives worldwide, maybe more than that by the time before this all shakes out. And this is going to be something that's going to be echoing down for the next 30 or 40 years. You have doomed your grandchildren and your great-grandchildren and your great-great-grandchildren to living in a world that's shittier than it was when you entered it. Shittier than when you got to be legal age to vote. You have decided that you want to hand the reins of power to the Nazi Party. So just because someone doesn't want to spend the holidays with you seems like a really goddamn small price to pay for that particular egregious act. Maybe it'll wake you up. Maybe you'll realize you shouldn't have done that. It's too late now, though. You can't take that back. And if they never want to have anything to do with you again, good.